All right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live. My name is Corey Baumeister.
I'm Ross Merriam.
All right, and we got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
All right, Rob will be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, burns, anything like that. He will get his favorite questions over to us. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so we can see your questions. All right, so we are continuing our post-streamer showdown standard battle now. Now that everything is kind of out there, at least the ideas, now all the people are actually just let loose on Arena right now. As we speak, people are playing. So we're going to see the metagame shift and evolve, and we're going to see decks at the end of a night that are like, oh my God, this person crushed with this. People are going to try that,
What's going to be the next dance of the mats? Flavor of the weekend kind of decks. We're going to see some of those.
Exactly.
We're going to start to see the top decks take form, get tuned. Yeah, this is the exciting time to be following Magic and watching streamers and doing all that and following like arena deck lists and getting all the news as it comes.
This is going to be a good time to follow the BCW boys and see what we cook up in standard. I don't know if we actually had a standard SCG to get prepared for. It's been so long since I looked at the schedule. I don't even know anymore.
They usually do team ones on release weekend now.
Oh yeah,
you got like the effect on every format.
Yes.
And so
I like those week one team events.
This is the first time I'm sad to not be going to Worcester.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I might have still skipped that one, but I was a big fan of their week one team tournaments.
I was going to be skipping that one because my sister's wedding was supposed to be that weekend.
Oh yeah.
That is now happening in the fall.
That's right. We were both going to weddings. I was going to be going to Cancun for a week for my friend's wedding that I was in, so I believe I win. I'm sure your sister's a lovely lady and her wedding was going to be great, but Cancun, man. Cancun. But instead, we get to hang out.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's not bad. A solid C minus. Yeah.
D.
Yeah. Whoa. Come on, man. Come on.
It's medium D's.
All right.
Mid D's.
Mid D's.
Some form of D's.
All right. So one deck that we are playing now, these are not the just D's decks. These are the really good decks, in my opinion. I think Flash is excellent, and I think Jeskai Control has the hopes to be really, really good. Yeah. So I think this is going to be a really fun matchup to see where this goes.
Yeah, I think Jeskai Control has a ton of tools. The question is just going to come down to how to tune it.
Exactly.
You actually have way more options than you have space for. So
much.
Figuring out the exact numbers it's probably going to take figuring the rest of the metagame out, then you're the control deck and you react to that. So this might be one of the ladder decks get tuned, but even in a rough shape, the deck is powerful enough to win. Yeah. And that's the power of the ultimatums. Normally control decks, you're thinking like you're hanging on by the skin of your teeth and then you're like, eventually taking complete control. Yeah. But if you're in that, sort of Damocles stage of the game where you're hanging on, the fact that you have one wrong card in your list is going to cost you that game.
Yeah.
Now, when you just get to 7 mana and cast Ultimatum, you're probably up by enough that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and honestly, we see Ultimatum being like the thing that really shines, but then we flash back and we look at the new Narset. New Narset, I think, is also just absolutely busted. Some people were having kind of mixed feelings on it when I was watching some streams, but I just was not having that experience. Every time I played it, I won, And then with the way the deck is built now, where you don't necessarily have to play Dream Trawler, now it might be still right to play Dream Trawler because that card's insane. But, with the way that you have it built now, your Narset's Parter of Veils are even better because now we have more targets. Even your creatures in the deck are now Narset targets, Shark Typhoon. Yeah. So you can search for that. So your 3-mana Narsets are still excellent. And then this is the best shell, in my opinion, for 3-mana Teferi. So you're really maximizing the cards that were really good and just they fit right into a perfect shell here, in my opinion. So I'm a fan.
The NSEP ultimatums are disgusting. We've been impressed with Shark Typhoon playing it here in a couple different decks, but I think it's perfect in a control shell where you want to be able to ambush creatures, especially in this matchup.
You want to be ambushed early.
Yep.
And then you just want to have a big slam haymaker at the end,
I think it's an excellent card against Teferi.
Yeah.
Where you can put a creature into play in the NSEP that didn't cost you anything, attack it down.
Yep.
Usually when you have Teferi Time Raveler on the battlefield, you're thinking, oh, there's nothing they can do here. But with cycling, and now we do have things we can do at instant speed against Teferi.
Yeah.
And Shark Typhoon is one of the most powerful cycling triggers that we have in the set. So just by virtue of that, I think it is going to see play. It's also a powerful card just on rate, and it fits well into this deck. So
So my question is, now that everyone's like, oh, I don't get to interact in Magic when I have Teferi Time Revel on the board. Do you think now people are going to be like, this is absurd? My opponent gets to play something on their end step
100%.
when I have Teferi. That shouldn't happen. That's all I'm seeing is on Twitter. I'm just anticipating that for next week, being like, this isn't cool. I have Teferi. They're not supposed to interact.
So do you think Shark Typhoon will just change the play patterns around Teferi entirely?
I don't think so, but it might change the sideboard cards from like just a removal spell that does some amount of damage to maybe like a bounce spell, like Brazen Borrower might be a better slot because of it. I could see that replacing like some Scorching Dragonfires or something in this list if there's a lot of Shark Typhoons. Like I could see it changing stuff like that, but otherwise you're still going to be able to bounce it with Teferi.
Yeah.
You still can't just do much about it, so it's,
Teferi's still a great card.
Yep.
I'm going to be playing Mono Blue Flash. As I said before the break, this list came from Todd Anderson, our resident flashy expert.
Yep.
So we're going to give his list
flashy
a whirl. I think, personally, I think his list is a little bit too focused on beating aggressive decks for where the metagame is right now.
I saw way too many unsummons.
Yeah. So we're going to keep an eye out for that. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in our pre-sideboard games. But I do also have 2 Manic Mystical Disputes. So we're like half and half. Like hopefully I draw the Mystical Disputes in the game 1, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If Corey gets really angry. That'll be perfect.
That's fair. So this is pretty interesting. It's a little bit of a clunky hand, but we do have some ways to cycle here. And we do have some great payoffs. I think I'm going to try this, even though it's a little iffy.
My hand looks perfectly fine.
All right, pass to you.
I have an island.
Okay. All right, Temple, right on time. Do not need an Elspeth Conquers Death in this matchup that much, so I'll pass to you.
Okay, I have an island.
We're going to be doing that a lot, aren't we? I'll take 2 and play it to Fairy.
I will respond with a Cunning Nightbonder.
Okay, put that right back to your hand.
Yep.
How's that for a flash deck? You like that? Okay, go ahead.
I will play Cunning Nightbonder and Brineborn Cutthroat.
Ooh, why don't you play in the other order?
Nightbonder makes the Cutthroat cheaper.
Yeah.
I run into a sweeper here, but I just have to do that because I can't just let a removal spell keep the Teferi around.
Yep. So we'll tick up.
And turn 3 Teferi with me not having a counter spell was the Nightmare.
Yep.
I like the Thinking. The Thinking is generally a good sign when there's obvious cards that blow me out.
Yeah, no, we don't have the auto blowout effect right now. So we're just going to take 2.
18? Feels like a Shark Typhoon.
I'm at 16.
16, are you shocked?
Yep. And I'll pass to you.
Okay. Well, I have an island.
Okay.
And I will attack your Teferi.
With which one?
With both.
Oh, okay.
Cycle Shark Typhoon?
No. Unfortunately, not even that good. That wouldn't even be that great because it is just kind of a chump blocker. No,
you make a 2/2.
Well, it's still a chump blocker.
Well, it's not chump.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's gonna die. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Teferi's gonna die, but you get to just kill a creature, draw a card.
I'm thinking which one I want to kill here. Well, I have protection. Teferi is sadly going to die, but let's Scorching Dragonfire the Cutthroat.
Cutthroat is exiled.
All right, and then Teferi's
dead,
down.
and I will pass the turn.
All right, I will cycle.
Yep.
Horrible draw. Also a horrible draw. Now let's go with a Teferi Time Reveler.
I will cast a Brineborn Cutthroat.
Okay.
I will cast an Opt to get a counter on the Cutthroat.
Okay.
I will bottom this heinous card.
Okay.
And I will cast a Brazen Borrower, get a counter on the Cutthroat.
All right, well.
Teferi resolves. Cutting Nightbonder so far looks pretty good.
It's not going to be as great of a Teferi as I kind of thought it would, but we are going to just...
I guess is bounce the Cutthroat just to get the counters.
Yeah, we'll bounce the Cutthroat. And then I'll pass to you. No land was a tilt.
Oh, no, land drop is great. So I don't have to play around Scorching Dragonfire here.
Yep.
I can just send the Night Bonder to Fairy, Brazen Borrower at you.
Yep.
That'll bring you to 13.
13, yep.
And pass the turn.
All right. Interesting.
Is it though?
Is it? I will pass to you.
On your end step, I will play Brineborn Cutthroat.
Okay.
On your end step, I will play Opt.
Okay.
Counter on the Cutthroat. Let's bottom that. And 13.
13.
Okay, on your end step, I will play Brazen Borrower, get a counter on the Cutthroat.
All right.
This is currently 12.
I will respond, kill that, and kill Brazen Borrower.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Okay, attack for 5.
Okay, down to 8.
Pass the turn.
All right. I'm gonna definitely go with a land. And we're gonna go for an Elspeth Conquers Death.
That is fine. I will unsummon it in response to the trigger.
Okay. Pass to you.
End step, Voracious Great Shark.
Okay. You didn't want to just counter that?
It counters like an artifact or creature.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't get everything, unfortunately. And I will attack you for 7.
Wow, down to 1.
Put you to 1. I was
That's not
hoping you would
good.
target the Night Bonder. I'd just have you dead, but pass the turn.
Well, I can't, because you can't do that.
Oh, yeah, it's more, isn't it?
All right, tick up on this.
I always forget that aspect of this. I just think it kills anything.
Just kills anything.
Anytime a card is really, really good, I just even assume it's even better than it is.
Yeah.
Assume it does anything.
That makes sense. Well, my hand is super clunky, and it kind of was from the beginning, so I really needed to add, play some more, or just draw a constant land. Sorry, lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just dead here.
If your hand was clunky, I think you got punished by not killing this, because this card generated so much extra mana for me over the course of this game.
Yeah. Definitely might have been. It seems like Cutthroat should always be the thing that I hit first, but, maybe not. Yeah. You got it.
And if like you had if you had a Scorching Dragonfire, I don't know if you did before the turn you played 2 of them. Like by that Cutthroat was only a 2/1 still.
No, I played Fairy and then drew the Dragonfire.
And then do the second one because you played 2 the next turn.
Mm-hmm. And then drew the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then didn't draw land. So
yeah, it's just an awkward way of drawing the cards.
Yeah. Okay, so normally this is a matchup that we've been playing 2 pre, but I think this is a very important one to go to the sideboard.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a short break, and then we're gonna get some sideboarding done between Jeskai Control and Mono Blue Tempo. Don't go anywhere. All right, everyone, welcome back to Sideboarding here on Versus Live with Jeskai Control up against Mono Blue Tempo. For mine, I'm taking out a lot of the really expensive stuff. I have to leave in some, but because we do still have to win the game at some point, but I really want to focus on Shark Typhoon as my win con, and then still be able to sneak through an ultimatum when I attrition you out. I think Narset, Parter of Veils is probably the worst planeswalker here. You're not really drawing too many extra cards except with the Octopus, but you just have so many creatures that can flash in and then just make this a 3-mana, look at the top 4, pick 1 card, and then it's gone.
I'm just so good at pressuring it that even if the static were good, it probably wouldn't be around for long.
Exactly, but Teferi, on the other hand, bounces something, completely shuts down your deck. So we're I wish I could turn these into Teferis, to be honest, but then we're bringing in Disputes are going to be excellent, and then some Clarions just to clean up some more cards, maybe be a nice 2-for-1 that is also cheap. And hope for the best.
Clarion is actually like an awkward card for me to counter because Dispute's going to cost 3 and you can pay 3 for it. I have Quenches that you can pay 2 for on a 3-mana spell. And then I only have a couple Sinister Sabotages. And if you force me to sabotage that, like, it could have cascading effects on the rest of the game.
Could be interesting. So
on my side, the Unsummons and the Voracious Great Sharks, obviously just targeting creatures. are not going to be great here. I would be leaving in some unsummons because of Shark Typhoon, but we have Brazen Borrower.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, I'm just going to be a little bit more judicious with my borrowers because I know I don't have unsummon. In that first game, you saw I had an unsummon in my hand, so I could play my borrowers more aggressively, which is great. But I just don't want to draw unsummon when I can draw much better cards.
Yeah.
Notably, Sorcerer's Spyglass can shut down Planeswalkers, but also can shut down Cycling, which is an activated ability.
Like Shark Typhoon, well,
Yeah.
then I'm just going to cast it.
You want to cast that card against me, that's fine.
Yeah, that's probably not great.
I can beat that. Although if you untap with it, it becomes a huge problem.
Ultimatum, 7/7 Shark.
I don't think that's as big of a deal, but like, just make some like,
Yeah, just Scorching Dragonfire making a 2/2 would be sick. Yeah.
It even makes your Shadow of the Skies cantrip. You like make a 4/4 with it on the stack. And
Yes.
But Mystical Disputes obviously are going to be great. Disdainful Stork, a good counterspell.
Okay.
And a Reconnaissance Mission, a card I've basically seen no one talk about, even though it is reminiscent of a card that was a staple in Mono Blue back in Theros, Binding of Thassa. While I thought Binding of Thassa was the most overrated card in that entire deck, I'm still surprised nobody is talking about this one because cycling on this card is quite good.
Well, someone's talking about it.
Yeah.
You.
The Reconnaissance Mission can run away with the game if you resolve it. And hopefully like protect it on turn 5 with Mystical Dispute, something like that, and draw some extra cards. But if you're in a spot where you can't afford to cast it, being able to, which happens a lot with a 4-mana sorcery, being able to cycle it is great. So I actually think this card is significantly better than Binding of Thassa, but unfortunately we'll see significantly less play.
Yeah,
it just doesn't have a deck it slots into.
I didn't play at the time, so I didn't see that, I didn't see that impact on Standard, but that card seems like a great Magic card to me. I mean... anytime those type of abilities stack instead of just, whenever all your creatures deal damage, draw 1 or whatever, it runs away with games very, very quickly.
Yeah. And even if you only have the 1 creature, drawing an extra card every turn is great. And then you'll quickly draw a second creature, and then you're drawing 2 cards.
Yeah.
Third creature.
Wait, are you saying Curious Obsession was a good card? That's blasphemy.
Might have been okay. If I can win with it, then it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Rob, you got any questions for us?
Yes. First one is, if you're building any blue deck in this standard format, do you believe the sideboard has to start with some amount of Aether Gust and some amount of Mystical Disputes?
Yeah.
Yep.
100%. Yeah.
Have you not looked at every sideboard we built for the last 3 weeks?
I mean, I've been screaming from the rooftops that I think Aether Gust is going to be the best sideboard card, and going into the new set and replacing the best sideboard card that was already there, which is Mystical Dispute. So there's no reason Dispute in a world where we're going to expect a lot of blue tempo, a lot of still just blue decks in general because of how good their sideboard cards are. There's no reason that Dispute doesn't get better, if not just stays the same, and it was already like the best sideboard card.
Yeah.
So yeah.
One of the reasons I have liked Dirge Bat so much is that it doesn't get tagged by Dispute or Gust.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly.
Dodging those cards becomes an ability.
And I mean, we're not at the point yet where Aether Gust is going to be a staple main deck card, but it was at the end of the season. Yeah. And if that, I don't think that's going to be the case because you just look at these blue flash decks that I saw at the showdown, and they were just great, right? Like, so I think having a dead card against them game 1s is going to be different, but the landscape of Standard could change so much that Aether Gust is a main deckable card again. I just don't see it right away for week 1, but you never know. Ugh. Ew, this sounds heinous.
Better get another question queued up, Rob.
I don't know.
This sounds heinous. Keep.
I'm thinking about it. A lot of lands on the play, and the thing that's different from this hand being absolutely heinous before is, some of our lands cycle, so we have an obvious land-heavy hand, but we do get to cycle. I'm going to keep it for science.
I will keep mine because my hand looks great.
All right. Pass to you.
This is a Tony the Tiger hand if I've ever seen one.
Great.
All my spells cost 1 and 2 mana.
Life is good. Scry. I'll put that card on top. Pass to you.
Yeah, I'm a Spectral Sailor.
Spectral Sailor, you got it.
No Mystical Dispute?
No dispute.
Okay.
Dispute check.
Attack for 1.
Yep, no blocks.
You're 19. You're...
Yep. Done?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not casting spells on my turn. If I'm casting spells on my turn, either you have a Teferi or I am in very bad shape.
Yeah, or you are dead. Let's go with a land go.
On your end step, I will play a Brineborn Cutthroat.
Brineborn Cutthroat. Yeah, that one I better get rid of.
Okay, disputing. island and attack for 1.
Okay, 18.
Pass the turn. Already got our clock. Now I'm just distracting you.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the rest of the game. Spectral Sail is going to carry us home.
All right. Now I think we want to try to impact the board here. I highly doubt it's going to work, but we're going to try. Let's go with a new Narset.
I will quench that.
Okay, your go.
I will cast an opt.
Okay.
Yeah, I will keep that.
Okay.
Okay, I lied. I'm going to cast cards on my turn.
Oh, no.
Let's make this an octopus.
Hey, you liar.
Attack you for 2.
Okay,
It's
16.
I'll
Yeah.
draw a card. And I'll play an island and pass. That was a great
Okay.
draw.
Okay. Well, we don't have much of a choice here. We're just going to try to jam it to Fairy.
I will Mystical Dispute.
Oh, we are so dead. All right, your go. I drew out of it quite well from my opening hand, but I'm not even really in this game at this point.
Attack for 2.
Yep.
14. Draw a
14,
card.
yep.
Play land and pass.
All right.
I've also had an excellent draw here.
Yeah.
I could not ask for anything more than
I'm going to go with...
like all you really needed was a Scorching Dragonfire to be in this game.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I'm going to go with an Elspeth Conquers Death.
So this is a 3 CMC card. I could have made it a 1/1 to have it protection from ECD. That's a good thing to know.
Oh, it is? I honestly thought I was just playing it for no value, there, to be honest.
No, if you play with the octopus on top, it's 3 CMC.
Okay.
I could have played it as a 1/1 with 1 CMC.
Yeah.
So I guess I will play Brineborn Cutthroat,
Okay.
and I will. Let's quench that and get a counter.
Go.
And then let's opt and get a counter.
Real tough decision for you there.
I had 2 counter spells I could have used. Bottom of land that we don't need.
Okay.
Attack you for 6.
Okay.
Go to 8, draw a card.
Yep.
Play Castle Vantress and pass the turn.
All right. Untap. Now coming to the point where I just have to resolve a spell or I'm just absolutely dead. And I don't know if I really have an option to do so. Yeah, just a counter spell and I'm basically dead right away. All right, we'll try to cast this.
I will Disdainful Stroke it.
All right. Here you go.
So this is already
That
legal.
definitely didn't go up to 5, right?
It went up to, five total power.
Yep. 5, 6, 7.
But I also have a Spectral
Yeah,
Sailor.
that's game. Yeah, that was a beating. It's like I kept a land heavy hand, but I actually drew out of it quite well. And I had plenty of things to play early, but just not having early disruption.
Yeah, all you did was go 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 up the curve, but I landed a spell on turn 1 and then double spelled with the octopus and ran away with the game as a result.
And I mean, that's the thing with mono blue, you can double spell quite effectively. Like all you do when you're playing mono blue is set up the scary cards that I'm expecting for my opponent's next turn, I have to, no matter what, set that mana aside. And it's like, okay, I have 2 mana to work with then. And it's like, I get to, do the octopus and then you have a counter spell. Like that's how you just run away,
And the key there was the turn after I octopused. My only counterspell in hand, I had 2 counterspells actually, because I drew Disdainful Stroke off the draw that turn.
Okay.
But I had Disdainful Stroke and Mystical Dispute in hand. So if you had Scorching Dragonfire, you were going to kill my thing.
Yeah.
And then we're playing a game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm, I might be up a card, but your cards are going to take over going long.
Mm-hmm.
But your answer lined up against my counterspell on that one critical turn.
Yeah.
And then, at that point, the ball is rolling down the hill.
And I mean, I really wanted to save the dispute to force through it to Fairy on turn 4. But when you played Cutthroat, it's like, it doesn't matter if I force that through. You're going to have 2 creatures to just kill Teferi anyways. So I might as well dispute and try to get lucky and top deck another dispute or something like that,
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just didn't really have a choice. I did keep a 6-lander, but...
Especially with the creature being Brineborn Cutthroat, that's probably going to get to 4 power by the time you play Teferi.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, if it's like the Night Bonder or something, then you can be like, okay, I can resolve a Teferi plus it for a turn.
Yeah. And then maybe Shatter or something.
Yeah.
Or Clarion. Yeah.
You know, set something like that up.
But wasn't able to do it. So let's try one more game here. I'm going to be on the play. Pretty convincing beating so far from Mono Blue.
I thought the cheap removal here would be really helpful, but so far the blue deck has looked really good.
Really strong. The tempo decks just seem maybe just too powerful. You know, I mean, there is going to be aggro decks that pop up. You know, like I played against Melissa Del Toro, and she was playing a Mardu, like really aggressive deck, and just played like Winona, just really fast stuff, and I was just like unable to do much. You know, it was quite strong.
Yeah, we haven't really seen good aggressive decks pop up yet, so that's a hole in the metagame that could also be really exploited.
I keep. This one's good.
Okay. Well, I will keep mine.
If I can't win with this hand, I mean, it's not a slam dunk, but if I can't win with this, I think we're in a lot of trouble.
I'm going to main phase a Sailor. I don't want to get disputed.
Okay. I will play land go.
And I will attack for 1.
Okay, no blocks.
19, pass the turn.
All right. End step, Dragonfire.
In response, Spectral Sailor.
Okay. Done?
Yep.
All right, here go. Or actually, do I want to take 2? I'm at such a... I'm going to play this land instead. Here go.
Okay. End step, I will opt.
Okay.
Don't want that. Need to hit some land drops here. I've got plenty of interaction.
Okay.
Okay, there's land. Attack for 1.
No blocks. 18.
Pass the turn.
All right. Take 2. 16. Pass 2.
Oh, yeah. Attack for 1. Oh.
I'll cycle.
Okay,
come on.
This should have happened first because all my stuff is cheap.
That was rude.
I mean, you're still going to completely stymie me. The typing is still awesome.
In response, I'm going to cycle.
Yeah.
We still don't have sharks, but we'll go like this. So 2/2 shark.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. But yeah, then
Matthias is our resident shark.
That resolves.
Yeah, this is. I'm definitely going to name Narset.
Okay.
Stop like Teferi already. Jesus, this is going to obliterate me. Yeah,
my hand was good.
I'll name Narset.
Okay.
You're up.
All right. Now the real question is, do I think you have double dispute? And I easily could see you having it.
Does that even matter? Like, if this turn ends with me having 2 cards in hand and like that being your hand, I guess the Narsets are turned off.
That's true. I'm gonna jam.
Okay, I will. I'm gonna get disputed regardless. I don't have double dispute, so I'm just gonna make you trade for a quench.
Okay. And then we're just gonna tick this up and pass to you.
Easy tick up. Maybe like bounce a Spyglass to get 1 activation out of a Narset.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
And this is a disaster. You're up.
All right. Untap, draw. We are going to bounce Spyglass. Play Narset.
Yep.
And I will.
So do I have to respond with my Spectral Sailor to this activation if you -2'd it?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Draw a card when you deals. No, I think
because it's a trigger.
Yeah, it triggers.
I can respond to a trigger. Yeah, because you have to make the decision whether to discard or not to.
Exactly. I'm gonna draw.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna discard Narset and point it there.
I will draw a card.
Okay. And then I will play a land, scry.
Now you effectively get value out of both Narsets.
And then I'll attack.
I go to 18.
Your turn.
Fairy's still on the battlefield, and you have a flying blocker. This is, and my hand is all counter spells.
I mean, that is the trouble with Flash, right? So
yeah, especially like if your opponent just draws more disputes than you do.
Yeah.
And, like they get to resolve their spells, and you're stuck with the even more counter spells.
But I think this is going to be something. Just looking how scared I am of blue with this deck. If I'm trying to get this deck ready for a tournament, I'm playing 4. I'm playing 4. I'm going to play even some more cards. For this matchup.
And that might be a reason to have a second color. So, like, I can Dirge Bat when you have the 1 mana up and you can't dispute me.
Yeah. And I mean, we got Dragonfires and stuff for that too, but yeah. All right, we'll attack with a Baby Shark.
16 all.
You named this, right?
Yes.
Okay. Pass to you.
The good news is I can pay for your disputes.
That's true. That's true. If you had spells, huh?
I do have spells, just not that I can cast it at all.
Okay. Take up for that. Attack.
14.
And pass to you.
Oh my god. Okay, I don't think you have more disputes than me now.
All right, I don't think I do.
You're up.
All right. So
yours is still better than mine, even though I have 7 mana.
A little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna bounce this, draw a card.
Yep.
Play a
Cash in the Narset for a card.
Thinking about it.
Pretty reasonable play.
Yeah. I think we're just gonna tick up, add. I'm not gonna use it. So then attack.
12.
Okay. But I do gain life. So
yes, you're at 18.
Your go.
Okay. I will play Sorcerer's Spyglass.
I will counter that.
Okay. I will play Sea Dasher Octopus. You have
sure.
This just gets disputed or killed. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to trade for a bunch of cards anyway.
Oh yeah, I guess you did only have 1 mana open.
Yeah,
2 mana open, so I'll dispute
this.
1. Yeah.
You're up.
Okay. Untap. I will draw a magical card. I will not discard. Attack.
Yeah, I think a lot of people miss that clause.
Yeah.
That you're not forced to discard.
I discarded a land as the first time to it, and they're like, wow, BM move on you, Corey. I was like, what? What do you mean? I was like, you don't have to discard. I was just being rude, I guess. Then pass to you.
Did you not use this?
I think I took it
you
up.
did, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm at 10, you're at 18.
Yep.
I'll cast an opt.
That resolves.
Bottom this land.
Okay. It's anyone's game.
Play this land.
Okay.
You're up.
I'll scry 2. All right, we'll put that one
I'll
on
let you have your
top.
fun after the first 2 games.
Thanks, buddy.
And I'm like, that.
I'm going to tick up for mana for 5. I'm going to play Shark Typhoon, gain 2 life. Go to 20, tick up, attack.
I'm at 8.
Go. These mystical disputes make 3/3s now, huh? For 1 mana. How cute.
Cunning Nightbonder.
That resolves.
Go.
All right, make a 3/3, kill that.
Make a 2/2.
Or make a 2/2, yep.
Okay, I have 5 counter spells in hand.
Just like you just play a Narset next turn 4/4. Like,
then you just bounce the Typhoon and cycle it.
Yeah. Shark Typhoon, I was really surprised when I just cast it the first time. I'm like, oh my god, they're dead. They're so dead. Like the one-time effect is sweet when you just want to like ambush block. Like I blocked.
Just use your mana, draw a card.
Yeah, it was like turn.
Going.
It was like turn 4. My opponent just goes, just jam with Innkeeper before they really start their turn, and I'm just like cycle 2/2, put it in front, and it's like now they can. I had counter spells, so like they could have resolved meaningful spells, but now you have to choose between resolving meaningful spell or kill the thing that is ambushing your creature. So it was there's some interesting dynamics to that for sure.
Definitely a very good addition to the deck, and was very important there.
Yeah,
protecting your Teferi and stymieing any aggression I might have had.
Mm-hmm.
But that's there. You see the downfall in that third game of tempo decks. Is like, we don't really come back from behind. Once that problematic Teferi lands, you don't have the pressure on the battlefield. It's really hard to deal with it. I just had a handful of counter spells. I was basically my entire hand was just dead. As soon as that resolved on turn 4, my 1 creature on the battlefield was trumped by your free 2/2. And honestly, what reminds you of that of a deck that we've played in the past? Like in anything like our last SCG even. I guess Regionals was the last Breach deck. I mean when you play those type of decks, you run into the risk of if they have a hate card, your deck's completely shut down. And there is that hate card in the format. It's Teferi Time Reveler, and it's one of the best cards. It's going to be played in a lot of decks. So I tend to really like to play the deck that is on this side where I can tune my deck and even
exaggerate sideboard, like just really bring in a lot of cards to beat this, because you can't really bring in anything to beat Teferi from the mono blue side. Mono black or blue black, maybe you have a little bit better stuff.
You got maybe bring in some discard spells. Dirgeback can actually take a planeswalker off the battlefield.
Yeah.
So you do have a little bit more power. Like that deck's going to be a little bit less tempo oriented and a little bit more of a mid-range deck, which might be the way you want to play it, because there are two very powerful cards against the straight tempo deck, which are Mystical Dispute Teferi, that are commonly played. So and you also get a little bit of help against aggro. If people are just playing like mono red, big creatures, having Heartless Act and Dirgebat to control their battlefield really helps.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing I'm worried about from tempo is the just really fast oven-based Mayhem Devil decks. Like, that's been the bane of existence for mono blue decks, is just cat oven. Yeah. That kind of stuff just really goes over the top. So I'm worried about the overall matchups for the deck. But like I said, it's been just looking strong. Flash has just looked really strong.
With what people are playing right now.
Yeah. So I think I really, the next tournament I want to play where it's standard that I care about or whatever, I'm going to have to ask you for a testing session to make sure I can beat you consistently with whatever deck I play.
I will say that the Cunning Nightbonder in that first game looked quite good. Just generated a lot of extra mana.
And when I played it, it just felt strong. So I honestly think that's a card that we really hated on, and we're like, just compared it in a vacuum to Cutthroat, and it doesn't seem as good, but it's just a different card and it has different roles. So.
And you could definitely fit them all in.
And I believe free mana, we've talked about it before. Free mana good.
Free mana.
Free mana good. Rob, do you got any questions before we head to break and for our final match?
I do have one. Somebody asked, Jim Davis yesterday on his stream was talking about the fact that building 3-color decks is kind of the same as building 2-color decks, because a lot of lands we have in standard enter the battlefield tapped.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Should people be trying to build 1 or 3-color, kind of skipping 2, or do you think there's still room for playing a lot of 2-color decks?
Well, I mean, one prime example for 2 colors is the Dimir Flash deck. This is a deck, I think anytime you want a 2-color deck, whenever you think I want to build a 2-color deck, the main reason is going to be you don't want a lot of tap lands, right? Like, there's just 2-color decks that are very strong color combinations like blue-black, but you don't want a bunch of trinomes to make your mana base worse. You played a 2-color deck in your first round. You played some trinomes because, you had a lot of cycling and stuff, and your mana base was kind of bad, right?
Yeah.
But whenever your mana base is bad, feel free to use those lands, but I don't think there's a limit on... if 1 or 3, I think there's going to be plenty of room to explore everything. And I think that's a really bad way to think, is limiting yourself at the start of a set, being like, okay, I should play 1 or 3. And then you just get in those ruts where you're like, okay, I don't even look at these 2-color decks maybe. So I think that just to leave the world open for possibilities, in my minds for this kind of stuff this early,
I agree with you to an extent. I think the latter point you made, like you shouldn't use it as a hard and fast rule, but it is very clear that the incentives are there to either be monocolored and have really smooth mana, or to be 3 colors and get access to these really powerful cards,
like ultimatums
and apexes and mythoses.
But all the apexes are 2 colors.
They can be if you're just mutating them.
Yeah.
It's like you often just want to cast them and then get their triggers for cheaper mutate costs.
True.
We've seen that work with Dirgebat. Like, that is really powerful avenue, and you need to be 3 colors for that. So that's clearly where the incentive is and where the fixing is pointing you. But like you said, with flash decks, you sometimes you want a little extra power. We've seen a monocolor flash deck, and it's definitely one of the ones I'm considering. But if you want a little bit of extra power, and especially like better creature removal, you do need to add a color. And those decks don't want to play the number of tap lands you need to play in order to play 3 colors. So you bite the bullet there and have a little bit of a worse mana base, but it makes sense in that context. But I do think you need that specific, that very specific situation to be 2 colors, where you're getting something significant out of the second color, and the third color is just too much of a cost. And flash decks fit the bill for both sides of that, and so that it's worth it. And if I were just playing like a mid-range deck, like I would not play just like a Golgari like removal deck. I would be splashing white in it so I could have Mythoses. And
I mean, you played 2 Golgari decks that both looked really good. You just had Golgari mid-range,
But in a tuned list, there would be a 3rd color in those decks.
Probably,
those were also pre-triomes where we had the good fixing for it, right?
True, yeah.
Now that we have everything, I think it's pretty clear that I would build those decks a little differently. Even if it's not Doesn't have to be a full 3-color, but it would be touching white just to upgrade some of the cards.
Sure.
And that deck already had a plains in it too. The Golgari deck had 1 plains for Mythos.
That's
it was
true.
Already just barely touching white.
Sure.
And now you can play four of the Triomes, which are Forest for Nissa.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even make your Nissas worse. Like, which is kind of that's one of the main downsides to having multicolors in your green decks, because you want Forest for Nissa, and now the Triomes just like help solve that anyway. So
yeah. No, I mean, I could see it, but I mean, like, even in our next match, we're going to fast forward here in a second, but I'm playing another 2-color deck. I'm playing another 2-color deck. We played a 2-color deck each round. I'm playing my favorite deck from the showdown. I don't know if it's for sure the best, but I was definitely doing some disgusting things. And honestly, in Pioneer, I was doing absurd things with Is It Phoenix? And that's going to be my third deck here. I think Rael really just opens the floodgates, and then we get Dorit, the perfect pet, or whatever it's called when it's Sprite Dragon, yeah.
Sprite Dragon, yeah.
Sprite Dragon. I got to use, the hashtag sponsored fully loaded sets from Wizards, and that means you get the alternate cards.
Yeah. People were playing with the Godzilla arts on everything.
Oh yeah, you best believe I was playing Dorit, everyone's favorite friend or whatever, instead of Sprite Dragon. And then I played against Ryan Overturf, and he just goes, turn 2 Sprite Dragon. I'm just like, wow, man.
Way to suck all the joy
Way to suck all the joy out. All right, but what are you going to be playing up against me?
I am going to be bringing a 3-color deck. This is Teamer Adventures, but with Song of Creation. I'm also playing a copy or 2 of Luca.
Yeah.
I think that card works well with Adventures, where you're like drawing actual spells with it.
Yep.
And so a lot of card advantage in this deck. And the Song works really well in it because you don't have to discard all the adventure creatures that are in that zone.
Yep.
And you get to untap with guaranteed spells to cast. So
I'll be interested to see this, because I played against 3 or 4 Song decks, and they were all heinous. They were so heinous.
I saw a lot of people trying this deck out.
Yeah.
And
I tried it too. I didn't like it.
I saw people drawing 1 million cards, putting a ton of permanents on the battlefield, and looking really good. And sometimes they actually just deck themselves.
Yeah. So if they drew 1 million cards, I mean, I know that companion that benefits 80 cards or more, but I don't see the reason to add the 1,000,000th card or even the 81st card, though.
But I do have a Thassa's Oracle in the sideboard.
Oh,
in case I draw 1
okay.
million cards.
My man. I guess,
yeah.
Wait, no, that doesn't work. You can't pay for creatures.
I was gonna ask a question about that, but
make it a Jace.
All right, I'll get you a Jace.
We submit decks as they are
all the time. This card doesn't wish for
tournament
creatures.
rules. Ross is disqualified.
Yeah, Ron's
Corey gets the
here.
marbles.
Thank you. Give those back.
It's a legal card. You can't disqualify me. I'm just an idiot.
I'm sorry. So you're gonna go to your next SCG event, and you're gonna submit and be like, Judge, I'm sorry, I screwed up. I need to change this card out.
Every set, I swear to God, every set there is a card that I just always mess up what it does. It started with Archangel Avacyn, and Brad, I cannot tell you how mad he got by the end, where I would just completely forget. I'll be like, but I'm going to block this and do it this way. He's like, but if you block this, I'm going to transform my Avacyn. Remember this. It's going to transform. Anything dies. I'm like, oh yeah, that also does that. I just forgot it for a week straight testing.
So Fan of Wishes is your Achilles heel.
I just cannot remember that this card doesn't get creatures.
Okay.
It costs 4 mana. Every wish that costs that amount just gets anything.
Anything, yeah.
Any tutor that costs 4 more mana just gets anything.
Yeah, but this has legs too, so it's got to be a little worse. But
yes.
All right, we can listen to Rant, Rave, and
my sideboard.
We can listen to him rave, holler, hoot as much as we want about being wrong. It's one of my favorite things to listen to. But we're going to take a short 5-minute break, and we're going to get our third match queued up for you. Ross got the marbles, sadly, already with the first 2. Yeah. But my favorite deck is coming up.
This one.
Yeah, since I'm just calling it now. I'm going to win next round because Ross doesn't know the cards in his deck. So stay tuned. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with Versus Live.